Anti-Afro Spengalis, I want to show you something. I'm going to just go ahead and put it on the screen, and I'll come back and tell you what you saw. Stay tuned, and I will return.
I'm sorry to be the one. I thought you would have known. The police were here earlier. Are you hopeful it's the right person?
Just hopeful that whoever it is will be brought to justice.
Okay. And obviously she's in a very fragile state.
That's pretty bad right now. We appreciate no comments right now other than just thank you.
Okay, what you just saw was a grieving mother who lost her son. And how this all went down, it is nearly identical to what's going on in and around the Umar Johnson sector. I wanted to talk about this situation that occurred in 2012. So let me just tell you straight up. You have this man that was killed. His name is Brandon Woodard. He lived with his mother and his stepfather. He was an only child. The stepfather had a custody battle with this, what is it, All of My Children actress. So I'll call her the All My Children mother. He had a custody battle with her for their daughter, and the All My Children mother lost the custody battle, so the daughter went to live with Brandon, the stepmother, and her biological father. So, of course, this causes a huge conflict, ongoing court battles and appeals of the custody decision. So, Brandon was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, highly intelligent, made the highest grades, starting in elementary school all the way through midway in high school. Towards the tail end of high school, he starts getting into all this trouble. Well, he got in a little trouble before, but it just got worse. He had this stealing thing he was into. He was caught stealing at all these different places, started stealing more and more expensive goods and services. Silver spoon in his mouth. Got arrested many times for many other crimes in his adult life, in his 20s, then decided to go to law school. Now, law school tells you we don't guarantee you're going to pass the background check. We'll take your money and you can get the law degree, but there's no guarantee you're going to pass. I can tell you, based on the extensive amount of his crimes as a juvenile, as an adult, there is no way he was going to get a law license. At any rate, he goes to New York on a trip. Here's a photo right here. When he's in New York, that's when his life is taken, on the streets of New York. So go back to the beginning of the video. This is his mother, obviously distraught, and his stepfather, and then a relative comes out to help. So what happened after Brandon was de-existed on the streets of New York, the All My Children mother, the one that lost the daughter in the custody battle to Brandon's mother and the father of the daughter, she puts up a website and gives all the speculation about what happened. Because at the time, we didn't know what happened. Right when he was de-existed, why did this happen? She gave all these different theories and said a lot of things about it's because of their background it happened. The things that they did to people. When she said they, she's referring to the father of her daughter and the stepmother who won custody. She's saying all the stuff that they did, it's finally coming back. She even said something to the effect, taking somebody else's child away and yours was taken away. She didn't pull any punches. And she posted all of these documents on this website. She dedicated this website to posting tons and tons of documents. And the documents were legal cases, complaints that were filed against the mother who you saw crying at the beginning. She was a broker and had all these issues with fraud, theft. It was just a nightmare. And finally, her license was stripped. So she put all those documents on the website. Brandon's stepfather was a lawyer in Illinois, had all these problems. She put all those documents up there. And she just went to town. Her sister even came out and said, "Oh my gosh, no, she shouldn't have done that. And we apologize to the family." But the All My Children's mother said, "It doesn't matter what my sister says. This is what I'm doing." So the grieving mother and the stepfather of Brandon Woodard sued the All My Children actress mother. And guess what the judge said? Every single document that she placed on the website is public record because people filed complaints. As far as her opinions and speculation and views, supposition, declarations, all of these things that she said is covered by free speech. There's no case. The case was quickly dismissed. So let me tell you, before I move on, what ended up happening with Brandon. Brandon had gone to New York because this ended up coming out in a trial that happened in 2017. He went to New York to collect $160,000 in drug money. However, those who had purchased the drugs didn't want to pay. They already got the drugs, but he was going to collect the 160 G's, and they decided, nah, we're going to go ahead and keep the drugs. We ain't paying you, and this is how we're going to take care of that. So they de-existed him right there on the streets. They never found who pulled the trigger, but they did find the guy who orchestrated the hit, and he got something like, I think it was like 85 years. And I think there was somebody else who had a role in the crime, but the trigger man was never identified. Footnote, it was revealed that had Brandon lived, he would have been facing 45 years in federal prison because they were onto him and his drug dealing. He said he was going to turn his life around. Obviously had no intention of doing that. He was in law school when this happened. So why I am bringing this up, I want to make damn sure the point is driven home. Free speech rights are universal. They're not privilege based in some sort of caste system or hierarchy. So let's talk about the crybaby King Kong crazy. He's all up in arms because I talked about his dad. The dad died in what, January 2024. I'm just trying to figure out what's the problem. This is the same fool that ran all over these YouTube streets laughing, cackling, thumbing up, applauding, encouraging, having the time of his life. When we were threatened with all types of lethal violence and SA, families talked about, dead and alive, he thought it was funny. Why isn't it funny now? I mean, I was laughing on the last video because the nerve of this fool to sit here and think he has some sort of privilege over us, that he can say what he wants about everybody's family members, but nobody can say anything about him. No one can say anything about his mother having a stroke. No one can talk about his dad dying. No one can talk about his mother dying. Nobody can talk about the cousin that ran in front of a garbage truck who was wreaking havoc all over Nashville. Nobody can talk about the cousin or the niece who tried to kill a cop. Caught on camera. We can't talk about those things. Every single thing that this fool has said about us, I'm going to make damn sure I'm going to say the same thing back. That's how that works. Running around crying, trying to get sympathy, go get sympathy. The point is, it's not going to have any impact on me. This is a classic example of someone who was so willing, ready, excited, impulsive about running his mouth, never thinking for a second how he would feel if it's reciprocated. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give it right back to you on my timeline. I'm going to mention, I'm going to repeat, I'm going to restate everything you said about us. I'm going to do the same thing to you. You running your mouth about people's families, I'm running my mouth about yours. Dead or alive, it makes no difference to me. You think it's so cute, fancy, and funny to talk shit about people, but you can't handle anything in reciprocation. Guess what? That's too damn bad. See, I'll ignore your asses. I will ignore you, and then I'll pick the time for me to come back and drive on you. But hear me tell you a little something. Again, I want to reinforce everybody feels differently about things that are said. He's putting up these photographs. I don't know who the hell these people are that he's putting up. They're no relatives of mine. I have no idea who they are. But I tell you one damn thing, you give me the link to that photo, I'll let them know that you're posting their pictures here on YouTube. See, he's posting pictures thinking that they're relatives or whoever they are. I don't know who they are. But he doesn't like it when I post a picture of his dad, who is actually a relative. See, I'm doing something that's correct. You've got innocent people that you're placing at risk, and I'm putting an actual person or people, your parents. In reciprocation, you're weak. You can't handle it. You did this thinking you were going to, what, shut me up. Well, if you're going to try to do this to shut me up, I'll try to do the same to shut you up. You are the aggressor, King Kong Crazy. You're the one that started this bullshit going all the way back 3 years. You were the one that went back there talking all this crap about us on sneak panels. You offended so many of your quote supporters. Well, they're not your supporters anymore. They were so pissed off and offended that they sent me, three different people sent me the live streams, and one person sent it to Rev G. You are disgusting, and you got to be out of your cotton picking mind if you think you're going to say whatever the hell you want about me, my friends and supporters, and we're going to sit back because you have a 40 caliber bullet moving around in your head that we're going to let you just get away with what you want to get away with. Hell no. You don't get a privilege pass. You are the aggressor. The timeline bears that out. I bet you $1,000,000. Mine fire outshine yours. I don't have relatives running into garbage dump trucks and beating children down. I don't have relatives crashing into churches. I don't have relatives engaging in disorderly conduct and they're running amok. We actually do have a cousin who tries shit like these idiots do in the Umar Johnson sector. And he's placed essentially in a box under these very strict conditions, such as during the holidays and family gatherings, he has to stay at the front of the house. There's a bathroom at every house that we go to for the holidays in the front of the house. He is not allowed to go to the back. Why? Because he's a thief. And who does he steal from? He steals from one person in our family, his mother, because she lets him get away with it. Everybody else has made it very clear to him if he ever steals anything from them, they have various methods by which to deal with them. And including, you're going to come up missing. We don't put up with that shit in my family. Are you going to pay the court fines for your dead relatives? You're harassing our friends and supporters and talking all kinds of shit about their families. I repeat, I'm going to do the same thing to you. Everybody has a right to feel the way they feel. But you are vile and disgusting and think that you're doing something by putting strangers up. I dare you to drop the link to where you found that photo with these people standing around. I sure would like to get a hold of them and tell them what you're doing. You talk about something about, oh, they go so low. Some clip that I was listening to. Yes, submarine deep. And I'm still not going to violate the law. You're the one that started all this crap, thinking you can talk all this garbage about us, first sneak dissing us, talking behind our backs, running sneak panels for money, all of this crap for 3 years. And you think that we're going to sit here and let you get away with it. You're not getting away with anything. We're just going to put you on our timeline. And I don't give a damn how it makes you feel. We agree. You don't care how it makes us feel. We don't care how it makes you feel. We won't give you the attention that you want. If you want my attention, trust and believe I will give it to you, but it'll be on my terms, and you will not like it. Like you don't like it now. I don't care if you don't like it. Just like you don't give a crap about us and what you think you can do to us. You can try to get us to what? Tap out? We're not tapping out. You don't own YouTube. You do not own YouTube. You cannot launch any criticism towards me that's going to get me to do anything different. And I got so much more, people, I'm going to say. But for now, I think you got the point. If not, let me know. I'll be happy to clarify. Buyer beware.